Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when you finally realize it wasn't you. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. I'll jump right in. When you finally realize it wasn't you, I'm referring to the narcissistic abusive cycle. All the things that you were taking blame for, all the projection you experienced, all the gaslighting, the stonewalling, the silent treatment, the smear campaign, everything that you endured, it wasn't you, it was the narcissist. And your proximity to the narcissist, perhaps you fell in love with them, perhaps you relocated with them or had children or created a family with them, or perhaps it's your mom or dad, aunt, uncle, your sibling, whoever it is, your neighbor, whoever this person is or people are, this is on them, it's not on you. What the narcissist wanted to do, remember, they wanted to shift and to change your mindset into believing that you were accountable for most of their poor behavior. Play that again. That's exactly what they wanted to do. That's why many times the narcissist uses a tactic called blame shifting, when they just spin things around on you. And if only you didn't do A, B, and C, I wouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. Notice there's no introspection there. That is how the narcissist gets by each and every day. They are not accountable. They won't apologize. They won't take responsibility for their poor behavior. They want to dump it on you. But when you finally realize it wasn't you, it was the narcissist the whole time. They were displaying the poor behavior. They were chipping away at you insidiously each and every day, week, month, year, decade. They were trying to break you down. They were trying to keep you stuck in that trauma bond, keep you stuck in the devaluation stage, or the narcissistic fog, like I like to call it, where you are existing, you're not living. You're a pawn, you're a puppet. You are an errand person doing everything for the narcissist, pumping up their fragile childlike ego to the detriment of yourself. But it wasn't you. The narcissistic relationship, first of all, let me be crystal clear with something. This wasn't your fault at all. You entered a relationship believing that this individual that perhaps you fell in love with, they were who they claimed to be. Remember, the narcissist just mirrored back what you wanted to see. They basically blanketed you. They mirrored you and your likes, your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations. That's why in the beginning of these relationships, so many times you're like, oh my gosh, this person is too good to be true. They like skiing and they like surfing and they like reading books and watching romantic movies, etc. They like to snuggle up on the couch and just be alone with me. This is amazing, because that's how it was in the beginning of the relationship. And again, remember, when the narcissist heard the three magic words, I love you, or let's create a family, or let's loan me money, or let's go into business, whatever they are or were, they now knew that they had sunken their dirty fangs into you. And they knew that they could slowly extract your resources from you and everything, including your spirit, your energy, your social circle status, your love, empathy, your money. Anything that they could get their claws on, that's what they wanted. And again, as I mentioned so frequently on the channel, there is a energetic exchange between the narcissist and the person who has entered the relationship. The narcissist looks to dump their toxicity into the individual, the unsuspecting individual, which at one point was you, and they want to extract all the positivity, all the goodness that you have within inside of you. That's what they want to keep for themselves. And once you are used up, and I'm not trying to trigger you or upset you, but once your resources are so depleted, perhaps your health has taken a hit, you don't have money anymore, you lost your job, you became ill, who knows? Once you hit any of those four things, or even other things that I won't mention in this 15-minute video, that's when the narcissist realizes it's time. It's time to find your replacement. But it wasn't your fault. None of this was your fault. Most likely you were and or are an empath, a people pleaser, a yes person. Most likely you did not have boundaries, or if you had them, believe me when I tell you, they were decimated in the early stages of the relationship. Let's go back there for a minute. In the early stages of the relationship, you could call it the love bomb stage, the euphoric stage, whatever you want to call it. But in that stage, that is when the narcissist went to work on you. That's when they assimilated with you. That's when they were blowing up your phone, telling you how beautiful you were, how much they wanted to be with you, how you're the love of their life, you're the yin to their yang. You complete them. Where have you been all their lives? Things like that. And when you are getting all this adoration, you're being showered with fake affection, fake love, and you don't have the wisdom about the narcissistic abusive cycle, you are ripe to enter a relationship and subsequently to be taken advantage of. Now, having said that, it wasn't your fault, because remember, the person that you are thinking about and or entered the relationship with, they knew exactly what they were doing. It's like I mentioned on the channel so often. Imagine you're playing chess with somebody, and the person you're playing against gets to move 3 moves in the beginning of the game, 1, 2, 3. Well, you're at a huge disadvantage there. You're at a massive disadvantage. Until when? Until you get the wisdom on my channel, and you get your first light bulb moment, and then you understand, oh my goodness, this person, i.e. the narcissist, they don't have my best interest at heart. They don't even love me. When the money ran out, they were gone. When I got sick, they were nowhere to be found. When we went to barbecues or events, they would be paying more attention to complete strangers than me. Yet the whole time I was driving them around. I was paying for their vacations. I was paying for their extended family members. I was putting a roof over their head. I was providing for them. And I thought I was doing the right thing. And you were. The point is the person that you entered that relationship with was a taker. And what the narcissist loves to do is take, take, take. And when they're done taking, what do they want to do? That's right, they want to take more. They are never satiated. Their bottomless pit can never be quenched. What they need are resources from other individuals. Picture, if you will, they are just pillaging through life. They are taking from unsuspecting individuals who don't have the education, who are not awakened and or aware, who do not have boundaries, who don't even know that narcissism exists on this planet. And for a period of time, that was you. But you're now on the channel getting the wisdom, becoming educated and empowered. You are understanding that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. But the narcissist, they wanted you to take blame and fault for basically anything in the relationship. Let's say a bill didn't get paid on time. It was your fault. Let's say there wasn't gas in the car. Your fault. Let's say the narcissist was late for work. Your fault. Let's say the food didn't come properly when you went out to a restaurant. Your fault. Let's say you wanted to see a movie or watch Netflix or something way back then. No, that movie or whatever show you're watching, it was horrible. They'll never watch it again. Everything is your fault. Think about this. So that's why it's very difficult for individuals to wrap their head around what a narcissist really is. What they are in real life is they are a person who can see things in black or white, good or not good. You're either with them or you're against them. There is no gray area. And for the beginning of the relationship, when you entered this relationship with the narcissist, remember, you were the flavor of the month. You were the new shiny object, the new toy to play with. You were the person that they thought they wanted to be with for the rest of their life. But that's not real. That's what they just told you. They knew that the narcissistic relationship that you were entering with them, it had an expiration date. They knew it. Believe me when I tell you. How do I know that? Because each and every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. Every single one of them. Let's focus on romance for a moment. Let's say that you married the narcissist or were in a romantic relationship with them. Well, what happens? Many times they'll really think about something. What do? They have groupies around them. They have people from high school or people from the past or people from their childhood. And these people are recycled. Now, I'm not saying that the individuals are all romantic interests. I'm saying the narcissist likes to recycle people. That's what they do. And it is not until you get the education on my channel, you go no contact, you block the narcissist, you remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them, and you close the chapter of the book on the narcissist. It's not until you do that that you are in a good spot. Let's put it like that. And again, side note, the healing path is not linear. If this is your first video ever consuming content of mine, please be patient with yourself. Be calm with yourself. Be centered, stoic. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It will take a mountain of work to break the trauma bond. It will take a mountain of work for you to understand what narcissism is, to learn the terms, the definitions in the glossary, but you will do it. If I did it, you can do it. Believe me, you can do it. You have to apply the tools that I provide here. You have to understand that this wasn't just you that it happened to, and that this was not your fault. You did not know that narcissism was prevalent on the planet, and you did not know that when you met the narcissist, they saw you as a vulnerable individual. Perhaps you just came out of a marriage. Perhaps you just experienced a loss or a death in the family. Perhaps you just relocated to a different town, city, country, state. Perhaps you were new on the job. Perhaps you just moved into the neighborhood. Perhaps you just joined a organization or community and you were new there. This is what the narcissist looks for. Another side note, pro tip. If you are on dating apps, in other words, you're looking for romance on the dating apps, you can do whatever you want to. God bless you. I understand that sometimes these dating apps, they do create relationships that last a long time. I get it. But my take is there are more toxic, narcissistic individuals crawling all over those dating apps, waiting for unsuspecting individuals to pounce on. That is my take. That is why many people on these dating apps get ghosted after they invest a lot of time into the relationship. Let's say it's long distance, and then they're looking forward to meeting this person never even shows up. That's a side note, so be very careful out there. But when you finally realize this wasn't your fault, or this wasn't you, it wasn't you. You were manipulated. You were looked at as an opportunity. Again, maybe you became a step-parent. Maybe you became a spouse. Maybe you were the person that provided a roof over this individual's head. Maybe you were the person that paid their bills because they told you they were down on their luck. Maybe you were the person that gave them a job. Maybe you were the person who introduced them to a group or hobby organization that you're part of. In other words, like a bike riding group or pickleball, something like that, whatever it is, surfing. Once you do this, the narcissist begins to go to work. And what do they do there? They begin to drive wedges between you and your hobbies, you and the people you know, you and your security and safety, you and anything. That's why entering a relationship with a narcissist is one of the most challenging, confusing, and debilitating experiences on the planet. It sincerely is. Specifically, if you've spent a good amount of time with them, like example, let's say you married the narcissist, or they're your mom or dad, or brother or sister, and you've had to grow up in that household, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every day you're walking around on eggshells. Every day you're not the priority. The priority is them. And when they come home, are they going to have a temper tantrum? Are they going to be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? You never know. Your birthdays were blown up. Vacations were blown up. Special events were blown up. You lost sleep. You gained weight. You lost weight. Your social circle was decimated. I can tell you that right now. And there were periods of time when you did not want to get out of bed. That is not only when you're in the relationship, but certainly post-narcissistic relationship. But when you realize that it wasn't you, it's the narcissist. Think about what I'm sharing. Go back in time when you first met the narcissist and think about how you were going through life. You probably had things going really well. You really probably did. But most likely you were in a vulnerable position, as I mentioned earlier. And what happened? I'll tell you what happened. The narcissist introduced themselves to you. They got close to you. They figured out what made you tick. One thing led to another. The relationship moved at light speed. Boom. Next thing you know, you move in together. Perhaps you relocated. Maybe you went into business with them or married them or had children with them. Who knows? But the narcissist looked at you as a fuel source. They didn't look at you as a kind, beautiful, bright, shining light. They didn't look at you with those puppy dog eyes and say, wow, I really love you. This is amazing. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. They may have said things like that, but that's not what they meant. They're just trying to get you to fall in love with them or to relocate wherever they wanted to take you from, because they wanted you as an extension of themselves. They wanted you to lose your identity to them. They wanted you to be manipulated. They wanted you to be taken advantage of. In other words, they wanted to take advantage of you. But more importantly, what they wanted to do was to mold you like a piece of clay, the way they wanted to mold you. In other words, let's say before you met the narcissist, you're doing your hobbies, you had a lot of time, a couple cars, your mortgage is almost paid off, you had a dog, etc., things like that. You were living a great life. You were fine, you were doing fantastic. Well, the narcissist saw this. They sized you up. They did their homework on you. They did the reconnaissance on you. Then they figured out rather quickly, wow, this person has a lot of resources and they don't know how precious and valuable they are. And that was you. So that's when the narcissist claimed they fell in love with you or said that, hey, let's get married, or whatever they did. But they manipulated you. The minute that wedding ring was slipped on the finger, it was game over. That was it. It was now a license to abuse you behind closed doors and also in front of people if they wanted to. But the point is, when that happened, that's when you experienced more and more of the toxic, poor behavior. That's when they began to devalue you more and more. And this was on purpose. Remember, many times people ask the question, hey, does the narcissist know what they're doing? 100% they do. Think about it. They wake up just like you do. They put their clothes on the exact same way you do. They go to work the same way you do. The only thing that they do differently, well, many things, but one thing, is they don't have love or empathy and they don't care about other people. All they care about is what other people provide. That's why many times if you were discarded, and if you were, my heart goes out to you. If the relationship ended anyway, my heart goes out to you. But the point being, if you were discarded, that's why so many times the narcissist can move on so quickly. Why? Because they never cared about you. Number two, because they can take the mask and smash it to the ground and basically show you their disdain they had for you. Number three, they had your replacement lined up, I can assure you right now, i.e. the new supply. Number four, they were really becoming jaded and bored with you and with your resources because they had already taken virtually everything they possibly could from you. And what did they do? They wanted to inflict as much damage upon you as possible. That's why if you were discarded, keep in mind the narcissist did not give you closure. There's no way they gave you closure. They can't. And keep this in mind. Anytime you're speaking with a narcissist, you have to remember that person is talking out of both sides of their mouth. You can never tell what is truth or fiction. You never could. And you can't now, and you certainly won't in the future with anybody that is a narcissist, because they will say whatever they need to say in the moment to get from you whatever they want. That is why drowning these people out is the path, going no contact, blocking, etc. But when you realize it wasn't you, this is a good thing, because it wasn't you. You have morals, you have boundaries now, my hope is, but you know right from wrong, and you can see a gray area in between life. You don't see things black and white. You can put yourself in other people's shoes. Narcissists can't do that. They just see you as for them or against them. And that's the challenge for many people to wrap their head around post-narcissistic relationship. How this person could wear the mask for 10, 20, 30 years. I'll tell you how. Because number one, you didn't know what narcissism was. Two, most likely you were isolated. Number three, you kept listening to their trance-like, zombie-like words when they would tell you that they're changing, or they want to see a therapist, or let's go to couples counseling, or I want to get better. Think of how many times when you were in the relationship with the narcissist, did it end and you went back, or end and they wanted to get back with you? Ping pong back and forth between, yes, things are great, no, things aren't. Back and forth, boom, boom. There's no such thing as stability in a narcissistic relationship. It's got to be push, pull, high, low. It's like a roller coaster from hell. It just goes around and around, and you can't get off that ride until you either end it yourself, meaning you separate yourself from the narcissist, or unfortunately you are discarded, and then you have to heal. You have to figure out exactly what it was. Keep this in mind before I close the video out. Not everybody gets the wisdom on the narcissistic abusive cycle. As I'm speaking right now, many people all over the planet are entering these toxic relationships. Many people, as I'm creating this video now, are being discarded. Many people are actually making a break for it, and they're ending the relationship themselves, and they're figuring a way to get away from the narcissist. Yes, those are the strong individuals, they are. But the point being, these relationships are being entered or exited all over the globe right now. And at one period of time in the past, you entered the relationship. Think about it. It was me also. And then at one period of time, you exited the relationship, no matter how it happened. That was me. Think about it. So now that we get the wisdom, or are applying the wisdom, we're becoming educated and empowered, we're the fortunate ones. We're the people that need to pay it forward. Because at one point, let's say the relationship ended, we didn't know what was going on. We had to find my channel on YouTube, or we had to type something in a browser like, spouse won't talk to me, something like that. Next thing you know, boom, my channel pops up and you're getting the wisdom. And you're like, it's not just me. There's a thing for this. There's a whole community. Oh my gosh. And then you get light bulb moments, boom, boom, boom. And then the natural progression, as I mentioned, is you go down the rabbit hole of not only the narcissist and what narcissism is, but you start to identify other individuals on the fringe, perhaps your own family members or friends from decades ago, or neighbors, whomever. And that's when you begin to place boundaries in place and understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third, and you won't just give away your energy and or empathy or time to anybody who doesn't reciprocate with you. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you all. I love you, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Keep this in mind. When you realize it wasn't you, that's an empowering thing. You have concerns, and you have issues, and you make mistakes just like me. We all do, everyone on the planet. But the point is, we need to learn from our mistakes and learn from toxic relationships and apply boundaries. The narcissist won't introspect. They won't be accountable. All they wanted to do was dump all their toxicity into you, have you carry that load around for as long as you would carry it, and then they would continue to belittle you or hammer you, if you will, until you finally got the wisdom. It wasn't you, though. Bear this in mind. Guys, no matter where you are, you're not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye.